So talk to us about how the pandemic impacted the resale market. Did you see a shift away from fast fashion to secondhand items, and how quickly did that move?
I think you were already seeing these trends before the pandemic. You really saw resale accelerating, and then I think once we were all stuck at home and had nothing to do, you saw resale really catalyze in that moment. And so, but I think it's actually something that happened in the pandemic, and I think it's something that's now sticking.
So how fast then does it grow?
I mean, we project the business as the industry will go 30-35% a year for the next 4 or 5 years, and ultimately be about $50 billion by 2025.
How well is the fashion industry itself doing to help this transformation?
I think they're getting started. We're doing a lot of work with brands on how they can build take-back programs and sustainability and circularity into their businesses, but I think it's early, and so I think ultimately we have to figure out how brands can scale this, because at the end of the day, they need to build big, sizable opportunities.
So you're partnering with retail brands like Madewell, like Macy's. How do these partnerships work?
Yeah, so we do two things for them. One, we power a take-back program. So if you're a Madewell customer, we can take back all of your denim and all those products. And then we're also powering resale shops for them. So in a fully white-labeled way, we now power a resale shop for Madewell where you can shop all secondhand product right from Madewell.com.
So what's the goal? To get every brand on board?
Yeah. I mean, look, we think we can ultimately power 1,000 different brands, resale experiences, big and small, and we have some big brands launching in the next few months. So exciting time, I think, for brands and resale.
How key are consumers here? I believe consumers are savvier than they have ever been about sort of understanding their responsibility. But what do you need for consumers to be more on board, more a part of this?
Yeah, I think what we're seeing in the data is consumers are really showing that if a brand is offering resale as part of their broader strategy, so really thinking about circularity, they actually think that the brand is healthier. And they're more excited to work with that brand. And so I think consumers really can help push brands to be more sustainable with, shopping.
How much is Gen Z powering this transformation versus older consumers, like maybe myself, who are maybe not Gen Z?
Gen Z, it seems like it's powering everything these days. But look, I mean, Gen Xers, all of us, we are definitely part of this solution. We also have bigger wallets. And so the one thing to keep in mind is Gen X and Boomers have more dollars to spend. But really the momentum and the awareness is happening among young people.
There's also competition in the fashion resale market. There's Poshmark, there's The Real. What do you see as ThredUp's real differentiation here?
Yeah. Well, look, it's a big market, so there's room for multiple winners. The big thing for us is we take every brand. We take 35,000 brands versus, say, a Real, which takes maybe 100. And we do all the work for you. So unlike Poshmark, where you have to list all your items and do your fulfillment and everything, we take all the friction out of the experience. And so I think the differentiator is it's the easiest place to do resale.
What are the global trends you see in this space?
We're just doing some data now in our resale report. We're seeing the European market be massive. You're seeing trends in Japan. Japan's always had a very robust secondhand market. Germany the same way. So it's a global opportunity. I think I always tell people it's not a U.S. thing. It's a first world thing. And I think it's an area to watch.
So paint the picture for me 5 years out, future casting. How different does the industry look?
I think people will be shocked that every store, every brand that they work with has secondhand, has resale as part of what they do. And I think this is going to accelerate over the next few years, and it'll just be part of what we do.
And what are going to be the biggest challenges to getting there?
The supply chain and logistics and just the infrastructure to bring resale to the masses. It's hard, and I think that's where ThredUp will be the pioneer.
So what needs to change?
All the processes and technology to process the volume of goods, right? We estimate there's about 17 billion pieces of clothing out there every year. So that's a lot of supply chain infrastructure to build.